on Facebook and YouTube. Practice some of our breathing today, breath work. What I'd like to do is start off with movement, energizing the spine, creating that space for breath. And then what I'd also like to do is just sit down and do some box breathing, because this is something, again, I've just been revisiting and going through and practicing a little bit more, and something that I've been doing with some of the corporate clients that I've been working with, and a lot of people are going, oh yeah, this is really good. So people are resonating with this quite well. So we'll do a little bit of box breathing as well. But let's start off finding your comfortable standing position, and we will do some spinal cord breathing. Jump on that over camera. Taking your feet shoulder width apart. A little bit of bend in the knees, so starting off by extending the spine, opening up, lifting the chest. Nice and gentle, so not too hard. Don't think of it as a stretch as such or forcing anything. Then tucking the pelvis underneath, tucking the tailbone under, opening up. And then curling under, compressing, contracting, expanding, breathing in. And that breath is just light. You hardly have to do anything to breathe in. And then you hardly have to do anything to breathe out. Just lightly in and out through the nose. Breath in, breath out. Keeping the spine energized, mobile. Really important for health, longevity. Finding your own rhythm. And then on the next inhale, just rotate to one side. And then back down, breathing out down the center and rotating to the opposite side. And just going side to side. Do one more each side for you. And then take a moment. Moving into knocking on the door of life, so moving from the hips and the waist. Rotating the spine. Here we're just breathing easy, just let the breath be natural. You don't have to breathe in any particular way. Make sure you lift through the crown, so just watch that the head isn't pushing forwards. Really lift and lengthen the upper back. Stand tall, so you get that rotation through the upper back and very subtly through the neck as well. If we're too far forwards, yes, you can maybe reach round more, but we want to get that rotation, particularly in the thoracic spine here. And we're going to mix this one up a little bit. So just slow it down a minute and just show you. We're going to do a bit of a weight shift. So we'll shift, if I mirror you, if you shift to the left, then we swing to the right. And then if you shift to the right, so we just do that little bit of weight shift. It's not dropping the hips side to side. We're not doing this. We're shifting the weight. That knee bends on the side that we shift the weight. Just mixes it up a little bit. Still keep tall through the spine. Strong through the lower body, strong through the legs. And then just gradually slowing it down. Slowing it down. A nice one for the shoulders. Again, it's all relative, it's all relevant to breathing, is to have the shoulders, particularly the upper shoulders here where we tend to get, well, the shoulders are upper, aren't they? Particularly the shoulders and the upper ribs here. Get a little bit of freedom in the upper ribs there. Bringing your arm up. And if you've got any impingements or any pain in the shoulders, just, you don't have to come as high. So bringing the arm up, and then you bring the same hip forward. So I'm going to, if I'm mirroring you again, we're on the left side, bring my left hip forwards, left arm comes forwards, and then you just let that arm drop and then come back up. We're leading from the hips, knees bend, and just use the weight of the arm just swinging down. Find that momentum. Hips lead, arm drops. Hips lead, shoulder follows the lead of the hips. Again, you can do smaller movements. All of these movements that we do, you can adapt. They're not supposed to be painful. Hips lead. Let's do a couple more on this side. It's actually quite warm this morning. I haven't been out yet. It just feels really warm in here, unless it's me. Maybe the temperature has changed outside. And rest there. Freeing up these arms. We tend to hold a lot of tension in the shoulders, and then there's no freedom in the arms. Right side. Hip leads. Hip comes forwards. Arm follows. Hip comes forwards. You might find one side flows a lot easier than the other. This is all relevant for walkers and runners as well. This whole side driving from the hip and the waist, one side forwards. Obviously not doing it all one-sided. You go from one leg to the other leg, hopefully. Notice the timing as well. Get that timing right. Just let the arm go. Couple more. Good. And then take a moment. Arms just dangling now. And we'll have another little bit of stretch out of the spine and the arm line. This is a little bit more of a stretch. So you're interlocking your fingers lightly. So just interlocking your fingers lightly like that. Out to front of you and then breathing in. And now as you breathe in, extend the spine. So lift and lengthen the spine. Make sure you don't force these ribs out and compress the lower back, because that's quite often what happens if we're tight here in the upper back. The ribs come forwards and we just compress everything down here. So keep these ribs in, but extend and open up from the upper back there. Breathing in. And then a little bit of spiral, breathing out. And here when you breathe out, you can really create space between the shoulder blades. So really round the back, and then breathing in. Now, even though it's a stretch, it's still not forced. So you can stretch the arms out. Go with the breath. Breathing in. And breathing out. A nice stretch through the tendons and the fingers, particularly if you're on a computer a lot of the time, under the arm lines. Couple more. And then take a rest. Good. We'll do a couple of little flow movements, and then, as I say, we'll take a seat, or you can stay standing and do the box breathing if you want to do that. So we'll do some box breathing, and I'll show you a visual that you can follow, but I'll also cue that as well vocally if you prefer to close your eyes. But we'll do that for the last few minutes at the end of this session. I've put that clock right behind the leaf so I can't see what time it is. There we go, I can see it now. Okay, let's cross the wrists. So you've got one wrist in front of the other wrist, but there's a little bit of space. We're not locking the wrists together there. Just crossing the wrist, then we come up and then down. And then you could do the other wrist in front. So you put one other wrist in front, up and down. Now breathing in just lightly as you come up. Breathing out as you come down. Feel how that works, the ribs, the spine, the shoulder blades. Breathing into the back too. Let's do a couple more. Taking a rest. And then one palm facing up. We bring the other hand or the other hand down through the center line. So through the face, through the throat, through the chest, to the belly. And then you just swap sides. It's a nice grounding one, this. Breathing in, breathing out. And then moving into a little bit of bamboo in the wind. So bringing your hands on the lower dantian, bringing the feet together. Standing tall through the spine. And just remembering that building resilience is that combination of the strength and that flexibility. Relaxing the soles of the feet, the toes, the tops of the feet. Softening and relaxing the lower legs, the knees, the thighs and the hips. Keeping strong through the spine, but relaxing the lower back, relaxing the shoulders, softening between the shoulder blades. Lifting gently from the crown of the head so that the head is just floating on top of the spine. Relaxing the brow, relaxing the eye sockets, softening the face, softening the chest and the heart center. Softening deep down into the belly, into the lower dantian area. Softening into the hips. Just allowing the body to rock and sway, find its natural balance. And then when you're ready, just taking a calm, fuller breath in, opening your eyes, and then stepping out, giving yourself a gentle brush down. We haven't finished yet. I know we normally finish on that one, but we're going to take a seat. Most probably better off actually taking a seat after you just brush yourself down, because we've got another 10 minutes. Brushing down the back. And then finding a comfortable seated position. And we are going to practice some box breathing. So box breathing does what it says on the tin basically. I'm going to show you the visual first. So if you want to watch the visual when we're practicing it, you can follow the visual. Or you can listen to my voice, I'll guide it as well. But as you will see here, we inhale for 4 seconds. We hold at the top for 4 seconds, and then we exhale for 4 seconds, and then we pause at the bottom for 4 seconds. I like that subtle difference between a pause and a hold. If you hold something, you're deliberately doing something. I'm holding this empty cup of coffee that I need to fill after this session. If I pause, I'm just having a little rest. So there's a very, very subtle difference, and there is a subtle difference that goes on with blood flow, with biochemistry as well. This is used a lot in sort of like high stressful environments, sort of like firefighters, the Navy SEALs in the States. And the idea is that it helps to calm you, but it also prepares you to respond to stressful situations so that you're focused but calm. So a calm alertness. And you can understand that when you see what's actually happening, because we've got an in-breath and an out-breath, which is a nice calming breath, but you've also got those two little holds, or hold and pause, which is that little bit, a teaspoonful of stress where you're building that carbon dioxide, and actually that hold and the pause is where you're actually squeezing that little bit more oxygen from the blood to every single cell in the body. So think of that hold and pause as a focus. It's not like, oh, I'm going to run out of oxygen. Remember, you have got plenty and plenty of oxygen running through your system, and those short pauses and that short hold excuse me, isn't going to make you run out of oxygen. Now, if you do feel uncomfortable doing this, then please just breathe, just sit and breathe easy for the next 5 minutes. If you are pregnant and it feels uncomfortable, if it's something that you've not done, please avoid it also too. What you can do, obviously we're counting 4, 4, 4, 4 today. What you can do, if you want to practice on your own, you can just make it shorter. You can breathe 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or if you want to make it longer, you can go 6, but it's always a box, because that's what it's called, it's box or square breathing. So if we're all comfortable with that, we're all happy to have a little go at that. Get yourself, as I say, into a nice stable position. If you're sitting on a chair, your feet in contact with the ground. Nice and supported by the surface that you're sitting on. You might be on a yoga mat or on the floor, that's absolutely fine, but as long as you feel supported and stable. Lengthening through the spine, tall spine. Relaxing the face muscles, so relaxing the brow, the eyebrows, the forehead. Softening and relaxing the eye sockets, cheekbones. Always nice to have that sense of inner smile on the face as well. Relaxing the throat, softening and relaxing through the chest, the heart, center, the belly. And if you lose the rhythm at all, don't worry. Just take a moment, just step out of the rhythm, and then just when you can, just gradually guide yourself back into the rhythm. So we'll just take a gentle breath out now all together, and then we'll breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, and pause. 2, 3, 4, breath in, hold, breath out, pause, 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 breath in, hold, breath out, pause. And then just breathing easy, just letting the breath settle, just giving yourself a few moments. And then when you're ready, just in your own time, taking a calm, full breath in, nice refreshing breath in, opening your eyes if you had your eyes closed at the top of that breath. Maybe doing a little pulling down the heavens, little stretch, little twist. Good. Excellent. Everybody looks very refreshed on Zoom. Hopefully you're refreshed if you're watching on Facebook. That's a nice little practice to do in the morning. And you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes doing it, as long as it feels comfortable. It shouldn't feel stressful, but it should give you that sort of like sense of awakeness and alertness with a nice calm undertone to it. Whereas sometimes if you do some of the sort of like resonance breathing first thing in the morning, it's maybe not appropriate, or it doesn't feel right because your body's raring and ready to go for, hopefully, most of the time, raring and ready to go for the day in the morning. But I like that one. I've been playing around with that one a little bit more in the morning, just before I'm going out, maybe for a run. Great, excellent. Thanks for the session today. I'm around on Thursday, which is good. Can you believe it? So we will do on the Zoom, we'll do a normal catch up at 7:45. It'll be good to see how everybody's getting on. I've got a lot going on. There's a lot coming up. We're doing the Health Optimization Summit, which I'm really excited about. So we'll be exhibiting there. I think I shared yesterday on social media, we have some, we can get some tickets, 10% discount on that. So if you're interested in joining the Health Optimization Summit in June, give me a shout. It's fantastic. I was there last year, helping someone out last year, and I decided I've got to go this year and get our retreats out there. And I think also I'll be teaching a little bit of qigong there, which would be quite nice. We've got all the retreats coming up. I'm really making sure that these retreats are small group. So again, if you're interested in joining, then let me know and get signed up as soon as possible, because they are selling already, which is good, which I'm pleased about. And obviously we've got lots of other stuff going on as well. But if you've got anything you want me to do or cover in these sessions, or any ideas, then just give me a shout. Open to lots of ideas and things. But as always, thanks for joining this morning. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.